Okay, this is Wednesday, September 12th, 2017. This is a 2005 Toyota Camry. And there was a clunking noise up in the upper passenger side on the front. And we were thinking it was possibly a strut, bad struts. Noticeable clunking noise, but yet it didn't seem like the struts because the car wouldn't bounce like struts bounce all the time when they're old and they float down the road, things like that. So I jacked up the total front end and made sure I have a second safety in there in case one of them, that jack fails or that jack, and I was able to get at everything I needed to try to get at in here. And then on the other side, I did the same thing. I removed the tire, got the grease gun, and jacked it up so I could turn it, steer it by hand. Then I proceeded to try to move everything with a screwdriver to see loose connections, see if anything would loose, and really couldn't. As you can see over this other side, the driver's side front, I jiggled the steering, the rack, and that moves a little bit this way and that way like that, but not loose at all. I move this with both hands back and forth, not loose, no noises. These two main bolts that hold this assembly to this shaft, that seemed to be no problem. When I get my screwdriver in here, you know, I kind of jiggle things around. There's a stabilizer bar. You can hear a slight squeak, but one thing I noticed is the stabilizer bar goes to a link right here. With the boot here, and a link travels upward like this to this. And there are grease fittings here and here. And what happens is, as the car turns, I can't really turn it with one hand, but these joints with the grease fittings need to turn and move. Well, I put the screwdriver between here, there, and I went like that. You can kind of see it move. See it move down there. And that didn't make no clunky noises like something was loose. You know, I checked this mount here, and it goes up and down a little bit. I can see that. That didn't seem loose. This right here, the half axle, didn't seem loose. Brakes, I see right there. They're time to change, but I don't have them on me right now to change. But anyway, the rotors look pretty good. Anyway, couldn't find nothing. And well, I saw this bar right here, this arm right here, and it goes over to here to a rubber piece. Well, that rubber piece right there, if you look, it's kind of sunken in right in the front part. If I put my screwdriver underneath it and go up and down, kind of makes a rubbery squeaky noise, but that's not the clunk. So I guess I can hold off on doing that. That'd be a harder job right there to get that off. And then the strut up here, I thought it was a bad strut. Well, I looked up here, I kind of jiggled stuff around, tried to move the spring up and down, and I lifted the boot up here and checked for a lot of fluid here, and there's nothing. It's dry. It seems pretty good to me as far as I can tell. I'm not an expert strut guy, but I don't see anything wrong there. Well, I did the same thing over the other side, and I did find the problem. The problem was a loose link, stabilizer bar link. Right here, when I move my screwdrivers around, well, I did it right here, and sure enough, look at that. So I'll have to tighten that bolt, and that's the story of that. Over and out.